Hi everyone, welcome back to the Intellibeam how-to video to remove your existing Ford Lightning Emblem logo with the new LED lit version. So in the kit is going to come a T connector that would make things easy, but unfortunately the pins on this are incorrect. So until they come out with the new one in the next couple months, if you want to wire it using the items that come in the kit, follow along with this video. What you're also going to need is the following items: a 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, a T25 Torx bit, a plastic fastener remover, a flathead screwdriver, some electrical tape, a single terminal spade connector, and then some fish tape or something like your Ford antenna to be able to fish the LED emblem wiring. Recommended is 1/4" wire loom to make things kind of look nice and neat. And then also you're going to want to watch the whole video first, because steps 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all optional, because I took some bolts off that you technically don't have to. So please just look at that beforehand. And if you find this video informational, please just give us a like, a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. So step 1, you're going to go ahead and use a number 8 socket and remove both of these bolts holding down your front lock. So step 2, you're going to go ahead and remove the poppers here using your prying tool. I got this one off Amazon for $5. So you can see over here what this one looks like when I remove the 5 on that section. And then this panel drops down, and then repeat on the other side. Alright, so here we are for step 3. You're going to go ahead and take all 15 of these plastic poppers off around the perimeter using your popper tool once again. And I will show you what it looks like when we've taken off all of them and we can drop the cover down. All right, so here's the conclusion where I removed all 15 of the poppers right there. And then we'll go ahead and drop this down and take the panel off. All right, for this step 4, you're going to go ahead and remove these 6 bolts going around the perimeter of your frunk using a number 10 socket. Step 5, you're going to go ahead and remove 2 bolts, one right there on that side of the frunk, and the other using the same number 10mm socket. Step 6, you're going to want to push both these connectors back through themselves. This one pushed pretty easy. This one over here, I had to take a pair of pliers, squish it down, and then push it back. Otherwise, when you go ahead and take this off, I think this whole thing's going to want to fall and snap itself, and planning in advance. Step 6 over. For step 7, you're going to want to use a number 13mm socket and remove the 7 bolts that are right there. I plan on doing this one last, so this way here I can catch it. Alright, now for step 8, the comedy part of this procedure. When I removed this bolt, I thought the whole thing was going to fall down, and then I start shaking the frunk, and none of it is coming off. That's because those bolts don't have to come out, because I just undid the front part instead. So don't screw up the way that I did. We will move on to step 9 momentarily. So for step 9, you want to go ahead and pull off the front panel to the frunk, and then undo these 3 connectors right here. That white clip stays on that connector. So for step number 10, you're going to want to go ahead and lay your front panel on a frunk mat or something else so it doesn't get scuffed up, and then remove these 3 number 10mm bolts. So after you remove the 3 bolts, just go ahead and slide it right out like so, exposing the front emblem and the front to your frunk. Step number 11, after you take the emblem off, you're going to go ahead and use your T25 socket and remove the 3 bolts that are in right there. Alright, so for step 12, I went ahead and removed the 3 screws that were already there, but for this step, you're going to go ahead and slide out the camera first. I already removed it right here. And then this part right here, I'm only showing you this because this connector right there, you have to pry a little with a flathead screwdriver gently, and it's going to come off. And then this thing's going to be spraying water out at you the whole time, so that's perfectly normal. Alright, now for lucky number step 13, you're going to take your 3 screws that came in your kit and go ahead and put them in each of the gold slots that are there, and then go ahead and just reverse what you did by taking off everything on here and then putting it on here, utilizing the camera, the squirty thing, and then those 3 clamps. And then I'll show you a completed one right after this. So here's a completed step 13 with the 3 bolts in, and then these 2 screws go in, and then in your kit came 1 silver one, which goes there because that screw that was in the factory one is too long to end up going into that piece. And then just so you know, this left one seems super hard to tighten down, but the right one went in easy. Same thing with the silver screw. See you for step 14. So step number 14, you're going to go ahead and slip your emblem back into the front of your front cover, and then these 3 bolts are going to stick out. You're going to go ahead and use the 3 nuts that came in your kit to screw these down using an 8mm socket, and then we're going to move on to the wiring. And that is a completed step number 14 with the emblem, looks like back on the front grille. All right, so moving on to step 15, we're going to go ahead and want to run our red and black wire. So we're going to need to end up fishing it through here. So optionally, you can go ahead and take your antenna off your F-150 Lightning and go ahead and just stick it through this spot right here, and then out on this convenient thing, because we took these bolts off. Remember how we screwed up? Well, we didn't. So now we can go ahead and attach our 2 wires up to this to go ahead and fish it through the channel back over to here. So I'll go ahead and show you a completed one with that. And in case you were wondering, I don't need my antenna because I got a short one anyway. And step 15, pulling the wires through. Like so. All right, so here's a completed step number 15. I chose to start my wire right there so that it has a little channel in here for the connector. Black electrical tape because that is a tube and you don't want to pinch it. So I came up, down here, and then around, and then into the fuse box that's down there. I'm gonna get some black wire loom and whatnot to do that, but for now, it looks good like that. So then I will see for step 16, which is I'm gonna be wiring it to the fuse box. All right, so step 16, we're gonna go ahead and undo all of these tie downs to go ahead and expose the fuse panel underneath. So counterclockwise, untwist them all off, and then this just comes off like so. And then there's the fuse box in there. We're gonna end up wiring that to number 181. So I'll be back to show you where that gets grounded to and the connector. All right, so here we are at the end of step 16, and good news, I was able to get that wire loom because I didn't have the ground terminal connector to make the connection to the screw right here to end up grounding it. So make sure you pick up one of those little connectors and then you can ground it to here. So that's what it looks like with the wire loom. Make sure you don't attach it to this because it's very flimsy and this thing just pops up easy and you're gonna get water in there. So I ended up finding out that you can just use your tap on number 48 instead. So number 48 will only come on and off with your truck. So this way here, you don't have to have the light on for 12 minutes or while charging if you used fuse 181 there in the back. It's the middle number 5. So you could use that if you wanted to look that way. Otherwise, right here, fuse number 48 is a 20 amp fuse, the very first one that's right over there. So that's which one I used. And this way here, when the truck goes on, the light goes on. When the truck goes off, the light goes off. So there you go. Had a little extra loom left, so I went ahead and just continued it up here. Looks pretty good. Right there, it's kind of tight, so I just split in 2 pieces. Alrighty, so here we are back at step 17. Essentially, all you're going to want to do is reverse everything we did, other than you're going to have to run the line over here and tidy it up a lot neater and then plug it in to the connector that we just ran. But other than that, you're just plugging in the 1, 2, and then 3 other lines back in to these connectors first, and then snapping the panel back on and seeing if it lights up. And if it does, we lock everything back down in reverse of the way we took it all off and see what happens. Alrighty, so here's everything plugged back in. Tucks nice and good behind there, and we're gonna turn it on, see how we did. Alrighty, let's see how she looks. There you have it. A big shout out to F-150 lightningforum.com for making the wait for my Lightning that much easier. And then It's Just Me is the one that recommended this and did his install but didn't take pictures and videos, so I figured I'd do it for the community. So if anyone knows how to use a different fuse other than 181 so the logo shuts off instead of staying on for 12 minutes and then the entire time while charging, just leave something in the comments below and I'll be sure to update this video. But thank you all. Hopefully this helped you learn what to do and what not to do when you install your LED lit Ford Oval. So there you have it. Once again, this was the LED lit Ford Oval installation by Intellibeam, technology of tomorrow, today.